exactly. Yeah, yeah, that's true. I think that's a good point of how would someone, if someone would go into investing, they have some money that's coming in, or they have money sitting down, where or what should they do first, or what are the first few investments or savings that they should do, to then maybe go onto a riskier, investments or portfolios. What would the structure look like, or the flow look like? Where would you say someone who's probably working or probably retired? Where would you see their structure go up? What's first? What's second? What's the flow of money?
Okay. Yeah, yeah. So the flow of money, I tell them like, hey, you know what? Let's do a checking account, a savings account, and a brokerage account. Right.
Right.
And what I realized that many people don't even know what a brokerage account is.
Yeah.
And so with that brokerage account, I want to make sure from a checking, savings, and brokerage, they're used to being able to see the money, but also see the money going up and down, right?
Right.
I want to make sure they're used to that because here in our country, most times people start investing right away and have no idea, right? They
Yeah.
have no idea about it because they start investing in their job's retirement plan and they
Exactly.
have
Yeah.
no idea about it and they're just giving money aimlessly with the hope of saying like, oh, money will come to me later, right?
Yeah.
Well, in the space that we're in right now, in the alternative investment space, that's not the job tied to the job. People try to get a little bit more keenly looking at the money
Yeah.
without knowledge, right? And
Yeah.
so we try to combat that. So in saying that, hey, do you have a checking account? Yes. You have a savings account? Okay, cool. Do you have a brokerage account? No, I don't have one of those. I'm like, all right. Do you know about a brokerage account? All right. Well, here's how it works because then I can tell them just to maybe put 5 grand there or maybe put $1,000 there and just monitor it. Right. So
Yeah.
log
Yeah.
that. And then I ask them, how do they feel about that?
Yeah.
Because typically they're used to money that they can see not
Yeah.
decreasing.
Yeah. Exactly. That's true. That's
Right.
true. Yeah.
And so I got to build up that muscle for them because now you take a next step where you want to go into like alternative space or say you want to invest in a business. Right. You're
Yeah.
not going to see the fruits of that labor or that money being put to work right away. You
Exactly.
have
Yeah.
to give it time, right? That's what's called investing. So I want to make sure they're understanding that you're putting this money here to invest. You're putting it so it can grow legs so it can bring you back money,
Right.
right? Not
Right.
just like,
Yeah.
oh, it went down. Oh Lord, this I need it now.
You gotta take it out. Take it out. Yeah. Take it out. Yeah.
Right.
FOMO. Yeah. Exactly.
That's
Yeah.
not that. That's not that. So I
Yeah.
want to make sure
That's
we build up that muscle for them
build up the
as well.
muscle. I think that's super important to build up the muscle to see. I think as traders, as investors, as us, we are kind of exposed to that for quite a period of time, and from a young age to see that, okay, our portfolio dropping or increasing, we are able to. It was not easy. I'm sure you can vouch for that as well. It was not easy to see a huge amount of money, probably dropping down a portfolio, then going up a bit, and then seeing it go back down. So I'm sure it's not an easy thing, but we've built up the muscle to see it and understand it, and not to fear it. To understand what's going on with the markets and stuff,
Right,
right?
right.
Yeah,
That
and
really don't know, right? Even like with stocks, correct? Remember, if
yeah,
you think about especially during the pandemic, Robinhood took all the
yeah,
way off, right?
yeah,
Um, but it took off with retail investors or people with limited knowledge.
yeah,
So therefore,
exactly,
they were looking at it as like a bank account. Hey, I
yeah,
put my money here. I said I wanted to buy Apple stock, and now today is like the red. It's in the red. Oh, I need to pull my money out. I'm like, no, no,
yeah.
no, 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 no.
No,
You
it's not.
the
It
basic.
doesn't work. That's the thing. Yeah, it's just because they are so used to just seeing that money, that being there, and almost the same. Probably at the end of the year, and a small interest comes in and stuff. They're so used to seeing that standard dollar cost. They're not able to see that fluctuation that's happening, right? And
Exactly,
honestly, the
and
thing is, fluctuation is happening with inflation and stuff.
oh,
What the money in the bank is actually dying over years, right? I've got my grandmother. She had like a couple, no, I think tens of thousands of dollars in the bank. I think for over 11 years, I guess, right? Over 11 years, and I think it was in a fixed deposit. When we went to see what's the returns of it, and when take it out, and if you do the math on what the return was, it didn't even beat inflation. So the money was sitting there for 11 years, not dying, literally just dying and suffocating in that vault or whatever. So you see, people, are they actually making money? Is their money actually there in that same level? No. So this is what a lot of people need to understand as well. Inflation is killing. It's a silent killer. It's an invisible killer that they're not seeing as well. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought that point. It is an invisible killer, right? But again, people see with their eyes, so it's being
Yeah,
deceived because they log
exactly.
in like, "Oh, my money's right there, though," and I'm like,
Yeah,
"Yeah." However, the silent killer, this value, this money is not going to buy you the same amount it would have 5 years
exactly. Yeah,
ago sitting here,
yeah,
right?
exactly.
So
Yeah,
so you're actually losing out for as long as you keep this money just sitting here. So that's why I try to take people on that journey and let them realize, like, hey, this is really just for your comfort. How much money do you
yeah,
need to see in this account just for your comfort, right? That you just
exactly.
like
Yeah,
to see. But that's what goes back to that. What does this have? Do I have enough money to take care of my needs, right?
exactly.
Or
Yeah.
just for sitting money. The rest of the money, it has to be put to work.
It has to be
If
put to
not,
work.
you're gonna be
Yeah,
behind the 8 ball. I'm
yeah,
sorry, you're gonna be behind. I gotta be honest with people. You're gonna be behind.
right.
But also, you know what I realized, and I want to share with people another invisible killer, right? Is investing because investing is not sexy. It's not
Yeah,
tangible, right? You can't touch it. It's hard to brag to your friends if you pull up, you know, in a Uber and not a Ferrari, right?
exactly.
So
Yeah,
naturally, we want to show off what we're doing or show off our titles from our job, right? Or show off that we can buy a brand that's expensive. We want to show off that we can drive a certain car because we want to impress people around us in our environment. But see, with investing, that's why you have to get into the right environment because investors who really have money, they don't care about any of that
that's
because they're
true. Yeah,
probably own those same companies that you're paying for just the little piece of clothing or or the actual car, right?
exactly.
And
Yeah,
look at you differently. However, if you don't get into that environment, your mind won't think the same. And so you'll
yeah,
be stuck in the other environment saying, like, well, I'm not trying to invest. I just need to work and then spend my money and buy this and now and impress other people and make me feel good a little bit. And it's like,
right,
nah, that's not the way.
right.
So
Yeah, I think that's so true because investing is not sexy. It's not sexy. It's also it's time consuming. It's not fast. It's not sexy. It's something that you have to do it, but it's not going to be something you're going to be bragging about. And if you think about bragging about your investments, you're honestly chasing a pump or something. Like you're either chasing a pump. Probably getting a quick gain that is not sustainable. Sustainable investments are not sexy and stuff. Yeah,
they're not. It's not.
yeah,
But we have to make it sexy. That's our job.
yeah.
That's our job.
Exactly.
We have
Yeah,
to make it
yeah.
sexy and make it a new normal, right?
Exactly.
Where
Yeah,
it's like, no, it's normal. Of course I invest. Of course I'm putting money.
yeah.
Of course, of course. Versus like,
It's
nah, I don't do that.
Nah, nah, I don't do that. Oh, it's not for me. It's not for me.
I'm gonna go buy a car.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go buy a purse. I'm gonna go buy such and such. And then see, because
yeah,
what happens is that whatever we typically celebrate, people will do.
yeah.
So we have to celebrate people who invest more so that more people want
Mhm.
to do that,
Right,
right? And
right.
see, think about it. You post online like, "Hey, I invested my first $10,000 into the crypto fund, or I invested my first $50,000 into my hedge fund." You
Yeah.
post that online, it's like, okay.
Okay. So,
But if I
yeah.
come back
So,
and say like, "Hey, I purchased a Ferrari with a
yeah,
loan,"
exactly. Yeah,
and
exactly.
now
The
what are you known
down.
for? Now it's
Yeah,
like, "Oh, yeah, you got a Ferrari." And it's like, we
yeah.
celebrate.
Well said. Well said. Yeah, well said. Yeah.
So, yeah,
I recently did a video on saying that if you own a Ferrari, if you own a Louis Vuitton, a Gucci, a Rolex or whatever, but if you don't have an investment portfolio that is as much or any asset that's can cover the cost of whatever you've just bought, you just look rich, but you're actually making someone else richer. You know that's the whole point of it because as what you just said, if someone puts a down payment for a loan for a Ferrari or for a car or something with the money that they could have invested, is that really, are they actually rich? you know that's what it is.
agree,
So
agree. So,
yeah,
you know, that's what we're charged with. That's a task we're trying to, figure out on that
yeah,
end. Like, hey,
yeah.
we need to make
And
this happen.
I think all those comes from, I say, like, so financial literacy is so important to understand that it's not just, it doesn't have to be sexy all the time. It doesn't have to be just what everyone's doing. It could be different, but it's something that everyone should do as well. So it all comes from that basis of understanding that, especially the banking thing. People just, that whole mindset of just putting in the bank and leaving there, putting it into a fixed deposit and leaving there. I think that has to change. The world is changing so fast, inflation is going up so much that, yeah. And the thing is, there's opportunities out there. You understand the futures and options, the cryptos, and whatever other sort of businesses out there. Making money work is so important now, especially now it's so important to make money work. So if someone's not making their money work, even if they have a lot of money, if they're not making their money work, it's probably a very very bad thing for them. You know?
Yeah. Oh, very, very bad. But they may not
Yeah,
feel it right now because what's happening is that they're working for their money right now.
yeah,
So they don't feel
yeah,
the effects of their money not being put to work for them right now. And so
yeah,
it's
yeah.
a false illusion, unfortunately, but they'll feel it later.
Yeah, and that's the thing because if someone's even and someone is a higher earner, they're working for that money. They live a lifestyle that's they're funding their lifestyle with their work. They're funding their lifestyle with their active income. But once they want to retire, once they're not putting their money to work, they are gonna the lifestyle they're living is what we just spoke about earlier. Their lifestyle is gonna if they are gonna keep that same lifestyle with with not that same level of income, it's gonna be very bad for them. It's gonna be put them in a very bad
Exactly.
situation. So
Exactly.
yeah, I think that's why I'm even more fearful for someone who has a higher capital and not managing their money properly. There's a financial literacy is not for just someone who's not having some money or who's lower income. I think higher income people also have to learn about financial literacy because you could be earning a lot of money now, but how sustainable is it? You know,
Right.
so
No,
that's
for sure. If we look at a current example right now from the entertainment side, there's a big writer's strike,
yeah,
right? There's a
yeah, in
writer's
Hollywood, yeah,
strike, actors strike, and so these individuals getting maybe 100 grand per episode, right?
mm,
Large sums of money per episode. Well, now they're all out of work right now.
right,
Well, guess some individuals are actually losing, their homes right now
yeah,
because they can't pay the mortgage. Because why? They so passionate, right? And they're living out their true passion,
yeah,
but no one around them gave them a basis of financial understanding and literacy to
yeah,
understand how to manage this money, for a
yeah,
longer period of time. And so now it is totally dependent on, hey, I'm an actor. I've been busting my butt to learn acting and perfect my craft for 25 years. And I
yeah.
just go get the money. But I did when I got the money though, I didn't learn how to put it to work so I can have what?
Ex-
Control and freedom.
Exactly, exactly. I think that's so true because that's the thing, right? And the thing is, they've got so much. They're living a lifestyle for their income, and when something like this happens, something that unforeseen happens, how are they able to cope? That's
Yep.
crazy. Yeah, yeah. I think perfect, perfect. I think we have about 20, 30 minutes left. Is there anything that you'd want to ask me? Anything that you probably want to ask me to understand or something?
Yeah. So tell me some of your pitfalls or your frustrations, what those have been on your journey.
Right, right. I think a bit more on the pitfalls. I think that learning curve. I think learning curves could be called as pitfalls, but as I think pitfalls, you've got to climb back up. So over the years of understanding the markets, understanding the financial space, you lose a lot. You fall into traps. You fall into scams. So I think a lot of pitfalls come into just finding things, going and adventuring, and then falling into different sort of whether scams or just into wrong investments. But I would say there's no losing. There's only learning in this journey. So you never lose, you only learn. So whatever I've lost, I've probably learned 10 times more. Whatever I've made, I've honestly learned more from the things I've lost from the things that I've made. So that's why I think pitfalls are very important, as well as well, I think people would be one of the main things as well. Right, right environment, not knowing the right people, not talking to the right people, not meeting the right people, and also the right environment with you. So you're kind of comfortable with where you are, kind of stable with what's going on around you. But is that even right? You want to do more, but is the people around you, willing to encourage you, or even if they encourage you, are they able to support you? So sacrificing a few things to gain a few things is kind of the pitfalls and hardships that I saw in my life. Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, like
yeah,
definitely on the environment piece, like you were saying, like get around the right people because people can either be anchor for you or airplane for you, right?
yeah,
Um,
exactly. Yeah.
so tell me this here and share this. What has been or what's your ultimate big vision right now that you see, like in taking your crypto fund or any other fund you create? What's the big vision for it?
So I think one of my visions right now. I honestly look into things at a 5 year point of view. So I take it 5 years and 5 years because I think honestly life is not you only can plan life so much, but life happens. Honestly, life happens, and I see my funds, I see my business where in the next 5 years scaling about another two more funds, probably another hedge fund, the crypto fund as well, probably launching two more funds and sticking with two to three funds and scaling them from anywhere from 10 to 20 million dollars, because my whole goal was to move out from Malaysia to launch a foreign base, a partner base in the UK. Now we will do that. So I think the next step would be to launch into another country as well. I think the Middle East right now looks very promising with a lot of developments, with a lot of encouragement and stuff that they are pushing there. I think the Middle East looks like a better opportunity. So I think expanding the playing fields, launching playing fields into different territories is where I'm looking at. Honestly, geographically conquering, and when you move geographically, you meet new things, you get new things, you're exposed to new things and new opportunities as well. I think main thing I see in the next few years is moving where the money is moving. Yeah, moving where the money is moving, and about the next 5 years, I've also launched where right now we're talking on Capital Academy. So Capital Academy is this community as well as these tools. I'm trying to give access to people for a few things. Our whole goal is like is what we've been speaking about, what you've been able to give to your community. I'm just hoping to build and help my people. Because over the years, like what you said, we have got this gift where we have learned this. It's something that we have taken the time to learn. But now I think it's time to give back and teach people as well. So when my funds were launched, people asking, "Can I invest with you? Can I give you my money? Can you trade for me?" It wasn't. I was not able to take in the money because you had to be qualified to come into the fund and stuff. And my first few funds were my first fund was like that. So right now, I want to give people more than just the opportunity to invest, but now understanding why you're investing, understanding how to invest. You don't have to invest in a fund. You don't have to invest in me. Invest in yourself and learn how to invest. It's easy, right? Like, you don't have to do complex things. You don't have to trade multiple trades and stuff. You just have to put your money in the right places, do what you like, and put your money in the right places. Your money will grow. Right? You don't have to listen to someone to trade and invest for you. You could do it yourself, right? I'm not saying for everyone, but everyone should start off learning themselves. They should understand it for themselves, and then and that's the thing. Education falls in a big place, and I say I want to help throughout the education because just a few things that have happened in the past few months as well. Like I've got people that comes up and say that, oh, I'm going to uni because my parents told me this, and I'll make more money doing that into a job that I'm going to go. My parents told me if I do that job, I'll get a better, I'll earn better, I'll earn more. The thing is, are you going to do something just for money? Are you going to do a job for probably a doctor, right? So I've got someone that said, our family member said that I'm going to become a doctor because it's going to make me more money in a few years,
Mhm.
and my parents told me that. Do you want to do something that you don't like to make more money? Is that what you want to do? Is money the ultimate goal? Don't you want to do something that you like? So, and all this comes because of lack of financial literacy. If you make the same amount of money, if you could invest the same amount of money that you're investing to whatever college or degree or whatever education that you're doing, and invest it right with the compounding interest, you'd make more money than you'd ever earn per month. And if you could make more money out of just understanding that. But then again, this is why I think financial literacy is so important. And my whole goal right now, my funds, scaling it aside is one thing, but I think helping a community to grow and teaching them gives me more benefit and more joy, honestly. Yeah, I think that's where I'm at. Yeah.
I love that. I love that. I want to yeah, even on my end with my fund, of course, plan on launching more,
Yeah.
but in totality, I want to merge not only community
Right.
aspect with funds and be able to associate with that. And when I say that, meaning that I want to be able to go into neighborhoods and different communities and physically showcase, like, hey, we're, 88 Technologies Fund here, and we're providing, food, or we're providing sponsorship of after school activities, right? Or you're
Right.
sponsoring a park day. So people can start to correlate, like, hey, you know what? Funds are good, right? This
Yeah.
fund I know I'm aware of, so we associate it with is more than just a name and just in a high-rise building, right? I
Yeah.
wanna be in the
Exactly. Yeah.
community. Also, aspect of financial literacy. So we're launching, this initiative called Wealth 2030, right?
Right.
And so Wealth 2030 is to galvanize individuals together, right? So that he can understand the power of group investing, right? And
Right.
understand alternative investment world as well. So now think about it here. Our big initiative says that we want 1,000 people with $250,000 of investable assets by 2030. So what did I just do? I
Yeah,
understood the regulations that's hindering many people from coming to alternative investments such as our fund
yeah,
because they're not an accredited investor, right?
exactly.
But
Yeah,
now, if I give people the tools, the community, the environment, the education, the access, and expose their mind to more, now they can grow, right?
yeah,
And want to try for more. So now by 2030, now think about that now. Now we have a
yeah.
thousand people with $250,000. What is that? That's a quarter of a
For
billion,
$1 billion, yeah, it's got a
right?
$1 billion, yeah,
Into a fund
yeah,
that
exactly,
we
exactly.
then can do what? We go invest into income producing assets that then
Assets,
we
yeah,
in turn provide people with income. And
right,
so we want to do that. So that's the initiative that we have and we're launching right this month, actually, Wealth 2030. So
right.
individuals, hey, be aware
Yeah,
of Wealth 2030.
definitely. Yeah,
Um,
exactly. I think that's an amazing initiative. Yeah,
right. And it can help your fund out as well, too, right? Because they're being
yeah,
exposed. All we're doing is put them in a pot and educate them, bring
yeah.
awareness. So whether they come with us or they go over with you as well, you see, everybody can still benefit, right?
Yeah,
And so,
I think yeah. There's no downside to exposure. There's not a downside to exposure. You're just gaining more. I don't see anything that downside to exposure. That's why I think putting yourself out there and just learning more stuff is so important. And with
sure.
yourself, the World 30 project, I think World 2030 project is something that's going to give people, and as you're building them to accredited investors, that hindrance gap that we face as well, which is getting accredited investors join. The thing is, our community, not everyone's an accredited investor, but that's who we want to help, right? So why not make them all an accredited investor? I think that's an amazing one. I think that's
Yep.
honestly,
Yep.
that's,
And then
yeah,
outside of that, I have big visions of using our funds as the catalyst or the underlying support factor of other business entities that
yeah,
also are empowered to help the community,
right,
right?
yeah,
So especially from like nonprofit ends, be able to help out establish nonprofits, but then at the same time grow that money that's in excess, right?
right,
But I want everything has to be in alignment with helping communities or helping people, get to the next level in different spaces, whether it's solving homelessness, right,
yeah,
hunger, and things
right,
of that nature too. So,
right, right. I think that's true as well, because then probably you help your community, you're helping the business in the community, and the excess capital that's being there is able to use for better good as well. Yeah.
mhm.
Right, right. So, are you what other kind of funds in the short term are you planning to launch besides the futures and options? Are you planning to launch a venture capital or something like that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I love venture capital and private equity.
Yeah,
However, I'm gonna stay in the hedge fund space
yeah,
for right now. Again, because I want to launch the big initiative with Wealth 2030.
yeah,
And I just want to make sure one thing about it is that as we're doing that, I also want to have longevity and consistent
right,
track record. Because
right,
again, I like to have no matter what, right?
yeah,
Especially, coming from a minority background, I
mm,
understand the obstacles and hurdles that I've gone through and that I still will have to go through, right? And so
right,
one
yeah,
thing about it is that I don't ever need anyone to question, right, our character, our integrity, nor our results.
right. That's
And
amazing.
so
That's
therefore, we can have those. It stops and quells any type of nonsense, right? So we
yeah,
can actually focus on the mission at hand. And so that's why I don't want to move too far away going to venture capitalists just yet or private
yeah,
equity or debt funds. And we're going to stay right there in the hedge fund space and have consistency in our
yeah.
results.
Yeah, I get that as well. I see that the longevity is of that is very important, and being I think just be having a good track record and something, and having a good track record, having the consistency that's being with the investors, it could entail to something else as well. So it's just funding the growth, right? It's honestly just funding the growth for that. Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, good. All right. I think down a few more minutes. I think I'll ask a few more questions on the futures and options thing, because I'm also, I understand it, but I've got a few people that ask a few questions when I said I'm going to speak to someone like this,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Uh, where do you see the possible futures and options trading landscape, right? And how would you, if you're probably trading from an institutional point of view, probably the larger capital, someone trading on futures and options with a smaller capital, how would they trade with futures and options? What would you advise them, traders who are trading on futures and capital and options?
Well, I'm not gonna get too technical because this can be a whole webinar by itself,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
But I would honestly say, like, just get the definitions down first, right?
hmm,
Um, get the definitions down first. Like, what is the future? What is the option? Make sure you understand what that is. Like, what is the
right.
individual stock purchase? Understanding simple terms such as calls and puts,
Right.
right? I tell people example, I'm like, hey, when you call something, you call it up, right? I call
Yeah.
up and I put down, right?
Put
So
down. Yeah.
it's
So you
like,
call up
right,
and put down.
call
Yeah.
up, put down, right? And so I'm trying to make sure they understand that from a standpoint.
Right.
And then also understand, like, jump into the game. Like, just jump in. Like, it's kinda
Right.
like swimming, right? Jump into the water.
Exactly.
But at
Yeah.
first, you practice the movements. So
Yeah.
in option space and future space, it's like learn the terms. That's you practicing the strokes without being in the water yet.
Yeah. Exactly.
And then you also it's like swimming. When you get into the pool, when you can't swim, you can have like the little floaties on, right? The little
Yeah.
life
Exactly. Yeah.
what you
Yeah.
can practice those strokes that you learn or the definitions that you learn. And
Yeah.
so with saying that, there's a thing called paper trading, all
Mm,
right?
right.
And many platforms use them. So I'll say use a reputable platform or broker, such as
Mm,
you have Thinkorswim, well, it's Charles
right.
Schwab, but Weeble. The apps such as this, they have what's called paper trading. And so you would
Yeah.
sign up for your brokerage account. Again, remember I said brokerage account.
Yeah. Brokerage account. Yeah.
Uh-huh. And you would sign up and choose an option that, hey, I want to do options and futures, whatever they offer. And then you say you want to open up a paper trading account.
Which
So
is
what
also a demo. Which is also a demo account. I think many people in the
yeah,
UK they will
so
call it a
like a
demo
demo
account.
account.
Yeah.
Yep,
Demo
you do
account. Yeah.
forex, anything of that nature is demo
Yeah.
account, right?
Yeah.
Demo account, paper trading. So you're using fake money
Yeah.
essentially, but you can use those same strategies that you've been learning or thinking about
Yeah.
with
And
the
test
paper
on it. Yeah.
right.
Exactly.
And so you can build that muscle, right? Build that muscle, and you test out some of your strategies or test out some
Right.
things.
Right.
And then I would say from there is that you need to start journaling
Right.
because here's the thing that many people don't talk about. It's not just about the numbers because you can never control it. You guys,
Right.
market is not your friend. Don't think they're your friend. And don't, regardless of what you think, everything's going to stay the same. It's not. All right. But however, what you can control are your emotions, right? You can control how you trade or what type of trades you take. And you have to make sure you understand you're journaling that to figure out what that looks like for you.
Right.
And so, what I tell people when you're journaling, hey, what time did you wake up today? Write that down. How did you feel today? Right?
Right.
Write that
Right.
down.
So mindset solution.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you get all in
Yeah.
the mindset because you have to become systematic.
Right.
Just like how most people wake up in the morning to go to work, what happens? They're systematic. I wake up, I may hit the alarm clock twice, then they get
Yeah.
up, they go in the bathroom, I take a shower, I brush my teeth, I iron my clothes, I go out the door. See, that's systematic. So you take the same approach in
Right.
approaching your trading.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Make it
Right.
systematic. This is what I do. I get coffee. I make sure I'm in a good state. I do this. I look at charts. I look at the markets. And what I also say too, so you don't get overwhelmed, is that guess what? Just add in some time every week for it. Maybe you
Yeah.
starting out, maybe you dedicate an hour for 2 nights every 5 days, right?
Right.
Because at the same time, you don't want to overwhelm yourself and
Yeah.
then also limit your exposure to opinions.
Right.
Um,
I think
I know
that's super important. Yeah. I
super,
think that's
super because everybody has an opinion. Everybody on
yeah.
strategy, and we have the world at our fingertips with YouTube, the internet. But you
Right.
have to limit it when you're starting out. I'm so sorry because
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
can't discern what's horrible information or horrible strategies or what doesn't even apply right now in the market anymore. Right?
Yeah.
You don't know.
Yeah, I
So
think
yeah.
I think I think that's so true because I'm coming from the crypto and forex space. You have this people with signal groups and stuff like that, right?
Mhm.
And you've got so many of them giving their own strategies, their own points and stuff like that. And if you're not sure what you are getting into, you haven't tested what you're doing, you haven't understood the fundamentals of it, you're going to get wrecked because you're just going to listen to so many perspectives, so many strategies. Some might work, all of them might work. They are all basing off of their own strategies. But if you're going to just go and just go blindly and just follow one another, but not just focusing on what's the fundamentals, you're going to
Mhm.
get wrecked. I think it applies to not just the trading, not just, I think, everything in life. If you're
Everything.
not, if you listen to too many opinions, too many strategies, everyone has their own paths. There's no one path to success. So if you just listen to everyone's path, if you don't focus on the fundamentals and what you're supposed to do, you're gonna get wrecked. So
Right,
I
right.
think it's, yeah, yeah,
'Cause if you have fundamentals, then you can listen to people's opinions and you can
and
find out
make,
new
yeah,
stuff and may apply to you and your
yeah,
strategy. You can just pick and choose versus just
yeah,
trying to take everything in. And I'm like, that
yeah,
doesn't always, work out the best for most people when they're
yeah.
starting out at least.
Right, right. I think that's super the same. All right. I think for the last 10 minutes we'll go for a quick fire round, like simple. This fun questions. I think this simple questions will go. All right.
Okay.
Uh, First question is what. Sorry. What's your wake up routine like? Are you a person that sleeps late or wakes up early? So which one is it?
Um, both
Um,
it depends on what's needed, right? But naturally, I'm a up night owl. I'll stay up
so yeah.
all night and then
All
go to
right.
bed for about 3, 4 hours and I'm back up,
All
right?
right. Perfect.
I had
Perfect.
an
Okay.
option. I'm gonna wake up later in the morning.
All right, perfect, perfect. Okay, good. It's been thrown out there. You got to wake up early in the morning to be productive and stuff like that. But I see that some people work better at night, and it's what suits them, right?
Mhm.
Right. So it's kind of that. Coffee or tea?
Tea. I do not
Tea.
like coffee. I do
Oh,
not like
wow. Okay, all right. Coffee or
it's
tea. All
so
right.
funny. I battled with some of my team in our office because we
Mm-hmm.
had a kitchen and it was like, "Yeah, we're gonna put coffee in here." I was like, "No, you're not. No, you're not." Uh, but I lost that
Good.
battle. I was
Yeah. I think the majority is going to go for coffee because everyone's
yeah. I
probably
just
coffee.
I don't care for it. I don't care about the smell of the coffee beans or none of that. I'm like, "Nah, I don't like this." So
Right. Right. Okay, I think we'll go for what are your interests like? What are the other stuff of creative experience? What is this other hobbies? Besides, we understand entertaining is that singing, probably performing and stuff. But what's other sort of small hobbies that you kind of think that no one else does, or small niche hobbies that you have?
yeah, I actually love to read. I'm a reader.
All right,
Every morning I'm up reading. In
all
morning
right,
or late at night. I love to laugh. I
all
love
right.
comedy. So,
Okay,
if you go on my TikTok or my Instagram, everything on my explore page is a bunch of comedy videos because man, late at night or early in the mornings, I just laugh all the time.
yeah,
And then I love to fish. I like to fish. I think it's calming. I
right.
like the art of it. So I love that aspect. So that's some stuff on the backside. And I'm super competitive. I mean, if people know me, get to learn me, they know I'm competitive. So anything, I don't care whether it's bowling to darts, I'm competitive and I do not.
How about fishing? Are you catching more fish?
Right, exactly. Like, "Oh, we fishing? How many fish you gonna catch? Alright, cool. Imma figure out a way to win, trust me." So I love,
Uh,
just competing and
I've
winning.
never fished actually, so I probably
Oh,
yeah, I haven't fished. I've seen it. I've never gone on done it. So
man,
probably
look, you
I'll,
have to go fishing, trust me, trust me. It's a different type of rush and the feeling, especially when you finally have baited something and you got the fish on the hook. Trust me, experience you wanna have.
is it? Can you
Uh-oh,
hear
who's
me?
that? Yeah, I can hear you
Are you
now.
back? Yeah. All right.
I was
Yeah.
saying, like, that's an experience you definitely wanna have with, having that fish on the hook and trying to reel them in and you're battling back and forth. So, definitely gotta try.
Definitely have to try that. I've got a few people who said that fishing is good. I've never tried myself, so I probably will go for it once.
Oh, yeah.
And then we were on talking about books. So you like books? What are you reading currently? And yeah, what are you reading currently?
Alright. So, actually, I just picked up this book. It's called How Money Works for Women.
All
Um,
right.
what I've realized is that over my journey, past decade, majority of my clients are women. So,
All
I'm
right.
always trying to learn how I can best communicate with them, right? And,
Okay.
in the best manner as possible. So I picked this book called How Many Works for Women. So that's one. It's a financial literacy book. So I'm thinking about maybe if it's when I'm almost finished with it, if I can recommend it to people too as well. I'm always looking to add value. I always go back and read, it's called Relentless,
All
by
right,
Tim Bro.
Relentless, yeah. Yeah,
So
I've heard
I
about
just
it.
love I
Yeah,
just like reading just sometimes you just need to just to read it over and over again. I'm like, yeah, I'm in.
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Those books that you read over and over again. You kind of, that books just puts you in in your state. It kind of just gives you the
mhm.
motivation to read again. So I think each time you read it, you kind of get a different feeling as well. You
Yep,
know.
yep.
So
Because
yeah,
different
I
stuff
think
applies to you, right? Because 'Cause you're different
yeah,
stages of life or different,
yeah,
"Oh, this line or this paragraph, I get it now. I get that part."
yeah. I
Um,
totally get that as well. What are three books you would recommend to someone who's probably studying into the world of investments, or just probably now only understanding the world of investing and probably wants to put in some money and invest? What are the books or things that you ask them to read? So I think books, we'll go with books. What are the top three books that you ask them to go with to
that's a
read?
good question. So they're always changing for me, and also
Yeah,
kinda based it on who am I talking to, because a
yeah,
lot of what I've realized is that even though I recommend books, people don't read, right?
yeah. That's
Or
true. Yeah,
they try to read for the shortcut.
shortcut.
And
Or you just go onto YouTube and see the synopsis or whatever.
right,
Yeah,
they try to go for the shortcut, like, make this simple, make this easy because see, bro,
yeah,
I realize that people want a lot of money or want longevity, but they want it easy,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So, what I typically tell people on that end, if you're just starting out, I'm like, look, go for the stocks for dummies,
All
options
right.
for dummies. All right. The name is kind of funny, but look,
Yeah,
because I know it's going to just give you the basics that you
yeah,
really need,
yeah.
right? Without opinionated items, because it's financial markets, it can be very opinionated, correct?
Hmm.
And I learned that when I first got into the industry, because even going way back, there's this guy, and he's still doing stuff today. He was actually setting a lot of people backwards because he had this mantra that he would share that was old and outdated. But people were like, "Oh, well, I heard." That's easy. That's what people go off of. They say,
Yeah,
"Oh,
yeah, yeah,
I heard." And I'm
yeah,
like, "You can't do that in the financial world." I heard.
yeah,
So this
yeah,
guy, he was talking about insurance, right? He would sell people like, "You need to buy term and invest the difference." I'm like, why is he telling people this? Like that doesn't
yeah,
apply to
exactly.
every
Yeah,
situation.
yeah,
You get what I'm saying?
yeah,
Or another person, I call them financial actors. Another person was telling people, uh, you know what, pay off your house or
yeah, yeah,
just pay off
that's
all of your
true.
debts. That's what you
Yeah,
need to do. And I'm like,
yeah,
why is he telling these people that? Right.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
So I
I
tell
feel you on that. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, those books where it's just like, hey, here are the fundamentals, right?
Here
Don't
the
try
concepts breaking down. That's it.
to
Yeah,
so I tell people that the whole series of dummies, I was like, hey, this is for dummies, hey, stocks for dummies, markets for
yeah.
dummies. So going along those routes.
All right, perfect, perfect. Okay, I think. Is there anything else that you want to put in say? I think we'll ask and say that for a young group that's watching this, probably a young audience, is there anything that you want to say and inspire? I think inspire us, because whatever your journey is, everyone's journey is inspiring, and we'd like to hear some words from you on your journey as
Yeah,
well.
for sure.
Yeah,
So I would tell you, look, if you're young on your journey right now, if you're watching this video, first of all, give yourself a pat on the back, right? Because you are going to be what's called part of the outliers. And outliers are the individuals that set the precedent and set new rules for other people to follow. So on your journey, you're going to have naysayers. On your journey, you're going to have people that don't believe in you. On your journey, you're going to have, people that doubt you as well. But use that as fuel, not as a stopping point, because those are the same people that are going to be depending on you to break through barriers to give them opportunities. Think about it as you're building a business and being an entrepreneur of your own life. And entrepreneurs are people that are willing to go through things and break rules and fail fast so that they can then provide opportunities for other people that need it. Remember, you have the vision, all right? Keep your vision so big that you can see other people playing a role in it to get you to the next level. Don't focus on being a sole individual. I know on TikTok and Instagram, you have individuals that typically like to showcase that I'm doing this or I'm doing that. Remember, real wealth, right? Having real money and substance comes from having a team. How can you empower and bring on a team? So remember, try to move with no ego so you can stay open to learning. You can stay open to growing. You can stay open to expanding your mind so you can expand your business and expand your ultimate bank accounts as well. So
Yeah.
understand this environment is everything. Environment is going to be everything. And so he feels as though the environment doesn't serve you anymore. It's okay to move environments, move your circle. You can still love on your friends and your family and people you met along your journey, but it doesn't mean you have to stay in the same place that they're in because someone's stopping point is just your trampoline. So you want to make sure that you're not influenced by the influencers because somebody is typically paying the influencers, right? Always remember there's more longevity being behind the scenes, behind the camera, instead of in front of the camera, right?
Right.
Because the people in front of the camera are always looking for someone else to write them a check. So, do you want to be the person signing the front or the back of a check going forward? So you can still have your own celebrity in your own world within your own communities. You don't have to be a solopreneur. Always focus on building a business. And also, too, stay quiet. When I say stay quiet, is that understand this here. If someone is online telling you how much money they made, how much this, how much that, look at me, you have to then start to think, what are they trying to sell me? Right?
Yeah.
Because if they what business have you seen? Does Apple get online right now? One of the most beloved companies, one of the most profitable, one of the highest market cap companies right now. Does Apple get on in their messaging and do they tell people, look at us? We're $1 trillion company. We're trillions of dollars. We're making millions of dollars every minute. Look at us. They're not. So,
Yeah.
do you want to be a consumer or a producer like Apple? Right? The
Exactly. Yeah.
journey is here. The people are here. Network, connect, stay connected, and tell people we'll see them at the top because the bottom is too crowded with excuses.
Yeah. Nice. Well put. Well put. Well said, bro. Well said. Yeah. I think that that's amazing words. I really resonate on where we said that connecting an environment is very important. So I would like to say to my listeners as well, if your environment doesn't favor you or your mindset right now, have take a shift. Even if you think it's favoring you, try to shift an environment. Just give it a try. Environment really plays a huge part of your life. Your perspective will change. Even a small change in environment will change your perspective, will change your trajectory of life. So environment is a lot of it's a very important thing as well. So pay attention to your environment. I was even saying that pay attention to where you're paying attention to, right? So that's also another thing that's important. So pay attention to those things as well. So yeah, I think Curtis, we had a good probably 2 hours we were on a call. I think it was totally amazing. This is
Yeah,
just the start. I really want to. I would like to be part of them. I would like my community to also a small part, or myself a small part about the Wealth 2030 project as well.
yeah, for
So
sure.
and I would like to also welcome you to the Capital Academy family. We
Yeah,
we would also
definitely, definitely.
we'll share, you guys will share as well. It's all about sharing. I believe that there's no harm in sharing, no harm in exposure. So we share, we learn, and together we probably will do more good things as well. So just a start. I'd love to see you more, and we'll talk more about this. And I'm coming down to America very soon, and we'll catch
Yeah,
up there.
come on,
If
man.
if
You gotta
you
go.
if you if you're coming down here, just give me a ring, and we'll definitely catch up as
Look,
well.
let's just put it on the calendar for real. Like we'll put it in the schedule. Like, look, we're going to
Yeah,
make this happen sooner than later. So you
yeah,
definitely let's take you
definitely.
fishing
Because
too, man. Take you fishing
yeah, I just maybe my first time fishing would be in America
for
then.
sure,
Yeah.
for sure.
All right, perfect, perfect. I think we had a good talk. Yeah, we'll definitely catch up soon. We'll have a few more calls and stuff as well. So have a good day. I think starting off your day. Hopefully your day started off well.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, oh yeah,
So
oh, yeah. Rocking and
yeah,
rolling.
yeah, definitely, definitely. Have a good week. Have a good
All
weekend
right,
as well.
I
Take
appreciate
care.
it, brother.
Stay blessed, bro. Stay blessed. Thank you so much.